Welcome to Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette, with your host Steve Garrett, MC and DJ at one of the largest Corvette weekends in the country, Corvette Fun Fest, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 40 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google" or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. Be sure and visit the updated Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can also access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join the Corvette Today Facebook group there and sign up for Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at corvettetoday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, you can subscribe to the Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube. And be sure and patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 different unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvettes. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit aerolarri.com, that's AEROLARRI.com, and use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Also, midenginecorvetteforum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at midenginecorvetteforum.com. And a shout out to Corvette Forum and CanadianCorvetteForum.com, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. My guest on Corvette Today is no stranger to the NCM Motorsports Park. In 2015, he and his company were named the official photo vendor there. And now he's the new track operations general manager at the National Corvette Museum's Motorsports Park. I'd like to welcome to the show Mr. Zach Rackovan. Zach, welcome to Corvette Today.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, Steve. I'm super excited to share with you the journey to get here and also some of the exciting things that the Motorsports Park has planned for 2023. We've got a lot of things going on, so I'm excited to be on the show today.
Thank you very much for taking the time to do it, and we're excited to hear about all this. First off, Zach, tell us about yourself. Where did you grow up? Did you come from a car family?
I grew up in St. Louis, came from the correct side of the state. I know you're from Kansas City, so I had to throw a joke in there. My dad was really into aviation growing up, so that was kind of where I got my initial burst of adrenaline for speed and horsepower. Not really a car family, but motorcycles, and we enjoyed cars. It just wasn't a focal point of the way I was raised, but he was a service advisor for a Dodge dealership in St. Louis, so I was always around cars, but it wasn't in a high-performance environment. It kind of came to me late in life as I got into tracking a car and getting into high-performance motorsports and things of that nature, so it wasn't something that I grew up with, but it's definitely something I've embraced as an adult, and hopefully I'm changing that tide for my kids. They're obviously more involved in motorsports than most because of the way they were brought up. My daughter was at a racetrack at 6 weeks old. She was at her first race that I was covering photo-wise. So it's been a change for my kids, but growing up, it wasn't a big focal point, but it's something I'm glad I found later on in life.
Very true. Now, how'd you get into cars and then more specifically Corvettes?
Well, I started my motorsports career on 2 wheels. Like I said, my dad was into motorcycles. So as I grew up, one of my first high performance-ish vehicles was a Suzuki Katana 600, which if anybody that knows motorcycles, they're going to laugh at the fact that I refer to it as high performance. But when I got it, it was a fire-breathing dragon of a motorcycle. I quickly learned that it was on the lower end of the spectrum of high performance bikes. But I got into that. I lived in Southern California at the time. I pretty much exclusively rode a motorcycle. I had a car, but it sat so long that I got a nasty note from my apartment complex that it had 2 flat tires and it hadn't moved in 6 months because with the traffic, it just made more sense to take the bike. So I got into riding the bike in California. Subsequently, me and my wife moved back to St. Louis. I met some bike friends, and then we decided we were going to do a track day. And that's what got me introduced to the safety and the allure of racing on a surface that was built and designed for operation of high-performance vehicles, especially bikes, and the increased safety that you can get from that kind of an environment. So got into track daying, made it 1.1 track days, which meant that I successfully drove my first one, and I wrecked in the first session of my second one. And at the time, I was a policeman. I came home and I told my wife that I wrecked the bike, and she was concerned about the bike, obviously. She said that she was a little concerned because, if I broke a wrist, a collarbone, I couldn't work. That was one of those things where physicality had to be there to keep doing the job. And she said, I'll never tell you that you can't do anything. She's not that kind of a wife. And she said, but she wanted to make sure that I understood that I could quickly diminish our family's financial capacity if I were to be hurt while riding a motorcycle. So I gave up tracking the bike at the track, but I still wanted to hang out with my friends. And I was an amateur photographer and I enjoyed the hobby. So I said, well, I'll just go out there and take pictures. I'll take pictures of my friends and it'll be a good time. And I'll get to go out and continue my social aspect of it. And people started offering me money for photos. And then that was kind of the catalyst. That light bulb went off. A lot of law enforcement have secondary jobs to help cover the bills. And I thought, I could do something here. It went from covering a couple of races a year to working every weekend from April through October. We traveled all over the country for different races. And that's how the photography end of it was born. It was born out of hitting the air fence at turn 7 at Gateway in St. Louis. It was one of those crashes that at the time felt terrible and I was sore, but it bred the next phase of my life, which was to move into professional photography. So it was serendipitous, I guess is the best way to put it.
Absolutely right. And I want to get back to the photography part and also the detective part with you being a policeman. But first, talk about your school and educational career.
Pretty standard education. I went to high school, and that's in St. Louis thing. I don't know if it translates into Kansas City, but you could always figure out where somebody was from in St. Louis by you'd ask them the question, well, where'd you go to high school?
Right.
I graduated from Pattonville High School in 2001. I didn't immediately go to college. I was in commission sales and was doing fairly well for myself. It took me into the mortgage industry, and then I moved to Southern California, and that's where I met my wife. Of course, in that industry, it afforded me the opportunity to do a lot of cool stuff, buy motorcycles and have a good time. And then once we found out we were having our first daughter, it kind of was over the California thing. It was taxes. It was just getting more and more expensive to live there, and had an opportunity to move back to St. Louis. And that's where my family was from. And we had the bulk of the family there. So when we got back, that was in 2008. And I'm sure the listeners know the tragedy that was the financial situation in 2008. That was the time I decided, well, I don't want to have a job dictated by the economy anymore. So I enrolled in the police academy. My dad was in the Air Force. He was a security police officer. I always had ideas of grandeur of getting into law enforcement. This was the opportunity to kind of reset our family, and went into the police academy and graduated from Jefferson College with a degree in law enforcement. Well, I guess criminal justice is the way they want you to say it. Then I was off to the races as a policeman. By 2008, I was a commissioned police officer in a suburb just south of St. Louis.
Very cool. Talk a little bit more about your law enforcement career, because you were doing that for like 8 years, weren't you?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed being in law enforcement. That was an opportunity that I truly did want to help people, and I truly wanted to try to make an impact in my community, in my area. I actually lived in the city that I worked in, which now is kind of a rarity. Most guys try to not live where they work just because of the separation there, but I embraced the fact that I was helping to police and helping to provide that kind of support for citizens and neighbors that I had in town, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was one of those opportunities to learn a skill set, and I would say it was probably the most impactful thing I've done in my life.
Very cool.
It afforded me the opportunity to learn stressful environments, learn how to communicate effectively. There was a lot of advantages that were gained from that. But as I moved forward in my career, I knew it wasn't my lifelong passion. I was building this photography thing on the side, and it was quickly becoming more and more of an albatross that I had to decide, I have to pick one. So my wife was all too happy to hear me come home November 15th of 2015 and tell her, I think I'm done being a policeman. I think we can make this work in the photo world. Just got to change our lifestyle a little bit. So we decided to change it a lot a bit. Afforded us the opportunity to take the swing and become entrepreneurs and open our own company and go full time with it. Before I joined the Motorsports Park professionally, that was what we did full time from 2016 all the way up to just last month.
Wow. That's really cool. So let's talk more about the beginnings of your own photo business from ABI Photography.
Well, like I said, we started in 2009 after I had my unfortunate incident at Gateway. It started, from humble beginnings. It was just an opportunity to go out and hang out with my friends. But as I grew it, I realized that there was a need and a market for high quality digital imagery because people really enjoyed what they were doing on the racetrack. But like a lot of things that you really enjoy, it goes by so fast that when it's over, you remember bits and pieces. So I wanted to afford people the opportunity to share that experience with others through quality photos and prints and all the things that we created as digital media and artwork for the motorsports industry. Eventually, we got really, really busy. And like I said earlier, that's what kind of pushed me into that mindset said that it's time to make a change because I was working 7 days a week. Every weekend I was on a racetrack. Monday through Friday I was in the detective bureau. So I was burning all of my vacation to go to racetracks. And at the time when I made that decision, I realized that wasn't fair to my kids. It wasn't fair to my wife, that anytime that I got off work got taken up by a racetrack. So I wanted to spend more time with my family. I wanted to involve them in the travel, involve them in the business. My wife worked hand in hand with me building the company. She was, honestly, Steve, she did all the work. I just pushed buttons. I was the guy that would stand in the sun and capture the images. Ashley, my wife, was the person who made the business run. She was your back end support. She was the customer service. She was the printer. She did all the editing. She did the bulk of the work that my creative side couldn't handle because I was on to the next racetrack. So she made it successful. Once I decided to retire, I didn't really know where I wanted to live. I was kind of over living in St. Louis. I wanted to kind of travel a little bit. I got to do that when I was younger. So we sold everything we owned, cars, houses, everything, bought a motorhome.
Wow.
Put our kids in homeschool for 2 years and decided to travel the country. That's exactly what we did. We went from coast to coast, different racetracks, and just decided with the only goal or the only requirement to be, well, let's figure out where we want to live, and then eventually we'll put down stakes. But we had no need to find a place. We enjoyed the mobile lifestyle. It was a little different. I think it was formative for my kids to get to see the countryside, get to meet different cultures. It was an opportunity for us to figure out where we felt the most comfortable. As we continuously worked our circuit, we kept the southern track kept coming up in the conversations with our clubs, and it was that NCM Motorsports Park was being built. So we did the first event that they had here. We covered it with 1010s Motorsports. I fell in love with the track. From a surface standpoint, as a guy who likes to track cars, I would put it up against any racing surface in the country, probably the world. It's absolutely fantastic. But the clubs kept coming back, and we kept staying down here. We kept coming back to different events. And before we knew it, we were here every other weekend. And we kind of fell in love with Kentucky. It quickly became apparent that this is kind of where we wanted to settle in. We knew this racetrack had a lot of promise, that it was going to grow exponentially, which it has. So the entrepreneurial mindset in me said, there's a way we can make this track work. Luckily, they developed the Corvette touring product with the C7 Corvette. That's when I knew I had an opportunity here to make a fully fledged business covering this track. I knew that the Corvette was going to be my window into setting up shop, hanging my shingle, and becoming a professional motorsports photographer that didn't have to travel, which is super, super rare. And it worked. We became the official photographers in 2015. While I didn't grow up with Corvettes, I absolutely love them because they gave me the opportunity to settle down and make a living taking pictures of a beautiful car at a beautiful track in a place that we really, really love to live.
That's a great story, Zach. I tell you what, let's take our first break, and when we come back, Zach, we're going to talk more about your relationship with the Motorsports Park prior to you becoming the track operations general manager. I've got Zach Rackovan with me here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft will help you take your Corvette to new levels. Wheelcraft offers the world's best PVD chrome finish available on the market. Available in bright chrome and black chrome. Wheelcraft nails it in both appearance and durability, and it comes with a 5-year warranty against brake dust burns, pitting, peeling, and color delamination. Wheelcraft is also ISO certified. Whether you're having your wheels refinished or an exchange transaction, there is no core fee, no deposit, and you don't pay for the finished wheels until they are installed on your car. Wheelcraft insists on complete satisfaction before you pay. Hear from one of our customers.
I picked up a brochure at the National Corvette Museum and we took delivery of our new C8. I called Wheelcraft, and in 15 minutes, I ordered the new bright ice chrome wheels. Wheelcraft's follow-up and follow-through is superb. The wheels arrived on Sunday, installed on Monday, and cores were returned same day. The wheels are the highest quality I've ever seen, and they look awesome. Great prices, great customer service from initial contact to installation.
Thanks, Dennis from Nashville. In many cases, Wheelcraft offers finished wheels on exchange or will apply this new finish to your wheels. And don't forget, Wheelcraft has gift certificates available for the hard-to-buy-for Corvette enthusiast. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call us at 833-840-5334. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
The Radiator Grill Store offers protection for your C8's front radiators and side intakes. They also carry front strut tower covers to prevent rusting and pooling water, all with do-it-yourself installation. Get 10% off your total purchase with promo code CT10. See the full line of products at radiatorgrillstore.com.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
Stretch the life of your Corvette's paint with Nova Stretch, the performance protective cover. From bugs to rock chips, Nova Stretch covers protect your C5 through C8 Corvette, utilizing stretch fabric technology and an innovative fastening system for quick installation and easy removal and storage. Made in the USA for a tailored fit, the patented design and breathable mesh protects your Corvette without rubbing or chafing the paint like traditional covers. And unlike clear film or old-time car bras, Nova Stretch provides full front-end coverage including the grille, keeping radiators and heat exchangers clean and debris-free. Visit novastretch.com and use the code CORVETTE TODAY15 to get 15% off your order. Protect your Corvette with Nova Stretch.
American Hydrocarbon is your one-stop shop for custom interior, exterior, and engine bay items for your C4 through C8 Corvette. We can help you create a custom look for your Corvette with carbon fiber or 10 different color patterns and styles. Whether it's a custom-made engine cover for your new C8 mid-engine Corvette or custom-made C4 interior upgrades, American Hydrocarbon can help you transform your Corvette into a best-in-class show car. And now we're proud to announce that we can produce and distribute officially licensed GM products for the C8 Corvette. That includes the front splitter, side skirts, engine appearance panels, and engine fluid caps. Plus, we now also carry the C8 Speedline side skirts along with the engine appearance package and high wing. Our products have been featured in Vette and Corvette magazines. Give us a call, 813-476-5638. Visit our updated website at AmericanHydrocarbon.com or email us at pat@AmericanHydrocarbon.com. Let us help you make your Corvette the car you've always wanted it to be. American Hydrocarbon.
You're enjoying the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is the new Track Operations General Manager at the NCM Motorsports Park, Mr. Zach Rackovan. Zach, in the second segment, let's talk more about your relationship, your photography relationship with the Motorsports Park. Your company is ABI Photography. Talk about how you got affiliated with Motorsports Park and became their official photo vendor.
Well, like we had spoke earlier in the first segment, we were coming here for events to shoot HPDE track day clubs. We had a fairly good stable of business of clients that brought us from track to track with them. MSP was the new track in town, and just like every other track that opens up, it was a new and exciting surface for people to learn. 23 turns, 3.2 miles, so there was a lot to tame there, so we kept coming back and kept coming back. We kind of fell in love with Kentucky, like I said earlier, so I needed to figure out a way to not have to travel. My girls were getting older. They were done with the homeschool thing. They wanted to go back into regular school, and we supported that, and we wanted them to have that opportunity. So it became a situation where we really had to analyze our business and see if we could figure out a way to make it work where I didn't have to travel so much. We got lucky that they told us they were developing a new product here, and they wanted to offer the opportunity to drive a C7 Corvette on a racetrack. And it was going to be a Monday through Friday thing. Most tracks operate, they're fast and furious on the weekends, and then it gets kind of dormant corporate stuff here and there during the week. But I needed something that would run 5, 6, 7 days a week because I had to work every day. When they developed that product, I sat down with the general manager at the time and the operations guy, and I said, hey, I think we can make this work. I think there's an opportunity here to enhance your product by giving people a way to remember it. They bought in, and they knew that there was a value there to our customers. That was kind of what gave birth to ABI Photography at NCM and becoming that vendor that was always here. And that just kind of translated into, as we grew with MSP, most people didn't realize that we were a separate vendor, that we weren't officially a part of MSP, but we were just a service provider for them. It had a lot to do with the way I operated our business. I am very much a person that believes that rising tides raise all ships, and the success of the Motorsports Park is as much dependent on me as it is on them. So if I'm there as their vendor representing them, I did that job to the fullest extent that I could, helped when I could help, and provided customer service when I could provide it, and tried to build value in the relationship that we had. And I think that's what ultimately got me into the position that I'm in now. But it was mainly just because I wanted to be successful as an entrepreneur. I wanted to show my kids that a hard work ethic would yield financial success. Doesn't have to make $1 million, but you just want to be comfortable in the life that you live and feel like you're getting compensated for the work that you do. Some days it was rough out there in 100-degree weather, and some days it was the opposite. It was 40 and raining. It became very important to me, the quality of the experience that not only they had while they were on the track, but the quality of the experience that we could help them provide when they got off the track. Because nowadays you get off the track and you're all pumped up and you want to go back and show your brother-in-law what kind of cool stuff you did in Bowling Green.
Right.
Well, I provided them with the evidence that they needed to prove to somebody that they were a race car driver. And I took that very seriously, and the opportunity very seriously. So I think that translated into the way in which we worked with the Motorsports Park and their clients. My mindset was always, they're not my clients, they're not MSP's clients, they're our clients. And if they're happy, then they will make purchases from both of us. And that became an important mainstay in the way in which we approached our job and our customer service level and the quality of our work. Ultimately was very successful, and I'm super proud of what we built, and I'm very excited about the next phase of it.
That's really cool. So give us the story. Give me the backstory about how you got your job as track operations general manager then.
Well, like I said, I never viewed my position here as an outsider. That was frustrating to some people at times because I was technically not an employee, but I always viewed the opportunity to serve the customer as an opportunity that I should undertake regardless of who signs my checks. So I treated every customer that was here like they were my own. So I wanted to be forward with that customer service mindset. In my interviews, I told our executive director, I said, I'm loyal probably to a fault. And that loyalty lies with my customer. And that loyalty is to provide them with the best possible experience while they're on track, whether it's from a safety standpoint, a value standpoint, or just an overall exhilaration standpoint. And I never changed that motto when I was in photo. I think that hopefully that translated and people saw that. And when our previous general manager took an opportunity to travel out west and work with a different track, I saw a window open. I said, this is something I could do. This is something I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about the racetrack. I've learned to love and be very passionate about the brand that we provide, whether it's Corvette forward or it's racetrack forward or it's motorsports in general. And I think I have something to offer. I spent the last 12, 13 years building a business that was successful within the world of motorsports. And I've told my kids before that there's very few of us in the motorsports industry that get to make their living in motorsport. So it's an honor that what we do, there's even fewer of us that are artists, photographers and the like. So when the opportunity came up, it was as simple as a conversation with the people that were in power with the executive director and said, hey, I want this opportunity. And that kind of kicked off the process. So we went through the interviews and the standard process to get a job. I guess they bought what I was selling because now I'm doing the job and I'm super excited for the opportunity.
Good for you, buddy. Good for you. So tell us more about what your position entails there at MSP, Motorsports Park.
So as a track operations general manager, I cover all things racing surface, all things experiential, which is our Corvette product lines. Safety is one of my mainstays as far as my responsibilities to make sure we provide a safe and efficient racetrack and operation. Really, it's a team effort. We've got a great operations team. We've got a great sales and marketing team. We all work hand in hand to make sure we're providing a fantastic product to our clients, providing them with a safe and optimal racing surface to go out and operate their vehicles on. I'm just a member of that team that ensures that sales process gets delivered every day, that we deliver excellence, that we satisfy our guests. Some days I'm cleaning bathrooms and taking out trash, and other days I'm sweeping the racetrack. So it's just one of those operational jobs where you kind of got to be a jack of all trades and be willing to roll your sleeves up and get dirty. But at the same time, you got to be willing to put on a suit and tie and go to a meeting and represent the track in the best way possible and show people what it has to offer.
That's awesome. We've had Andy Pilgrim on the show before. Talk about what it's like to work with a racing legend like Andy Pilgrim.
Well, this is... I had no idea who Andy was. Like I said earlier, we weren't a racing family. I knew who he was from a respect standpoint from what he'd achieved, but he was just Andy. When he was introduced to me, he was just Andy. And so I never had that starstruck moment. So he became a friend before he became a professional racing legend. He came to me one day and said, hey, I got a project idea. And he wanted to do videos for Automobile Magazine. I was doing video at the time and we got into that. And we've shot some really neat stuff here at the Motorsports Park. It was an opportunity for us to show some cool cars and show off the racetrack. So we became fast friends. But it's funny because he's still just Andy. Obviously he's got this racing pedigree that is exceptional. But it's funny because when I'm around him, like I said, he's just Andy. People that aren't in that environment with him, they're awestruck by him. And, he's a fantastic driver. He's an excellent teacher. He really is passionate about his philanthropy and the traffic safety stuff. So when I have an opportunity to be around him and a fan, it's so much fun for me. So it's fun to get into an environment where somebody has that admiration for his racing career They know his historical background and all the stuff that he's achieved. Honestly, he's just a really good guy.
Yeah.
He's fun to hang out with. He's got a unique sense of humor. He'll get you when you don't see it coming. He's a very unique person. He is absolutely, and I'd say if he was standing here, he has a level of expectation of excellence out of everybody around him that rivals no one I've ever met. And I think that's why he was as successful as he was and still is in professional racing. He won't let you perform less than your capabilities. He'll demand, and it's in a 100% positive way, to bring out the best in me as a videographer, me as a director of video, as an editor, everything that we did together professionally. His expectation was always to make sure I was at the best that I could be, so we produced the best product that we could.
That's Andy. And you're right. He is such a nice guy. That came through on his podcast as well. We just had a great time, and I think everything you said just refers back to what we did during that podcast. Andy is just a great guy, and he is a Corvette racing legend. That's for sure. Zach, let's take our final break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about the NCM Motorsports Park and its future here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With agreed value protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
Yogi Berra once said, if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up there. At True Wealth & Company, we take that to heart. See, at True Wealth & Company, we believe your retirement lifestyle travels through two doors. Door number one, the blue door, gives you more options, financial freedom. Your money outlives you. Every happiness you wish for in life is through the blue door. Door number two, the red door, is where you outlive your money. You rely on family, friends, or even the state to take care of you. At True Wealth & Company, we're not just financial planners. The best way to walk through the blue door is to have a written plan. Make a work-optional lifestyle a reality with our proprietary True Life Map formula. Look towards your future with anticipation, not apprehension. Having a rock-solid fiduciary partner like True Wealth & Company is essential to effective financial planning. There's no winging it. There's nothing left to chance. Look, we don't want you to become another Yogi Berra-ism. Give us a call today at 913-653-TRUE. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Start your financial independence and work-optional lifestyle today.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
The holiday season is here, and Mid-America Motorworks is sure to have that perfect something for that hard-to-buy-for Corvette enthusiast on your shopping list. Mid-America Motorworks can help with lots of T-shirts, Corvette car covers, stocking stuffers, and more. They have all of what you need for years and generations of Corvette. Whether it's the latest shirt, jacket, hat, or lifestyle accessory, you can get it at Mid-America Motorworks. Visit mamotorworks.com and shop Corvettes by generation or specific year. You can even shop by price for the perfect gift or stocking stuffer. Call Monday through Saturday toll-free at 866-350-4540 and talk to a Corvette expert. Mid-America Motorworks. Pursue your passion here.
VetFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25, and every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada, and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
Check out the first Corvette-only auction website at 427stingray.com/Corvette today. You can sign up to bid and comment on more than 40 Corvettes every week. That's 427stingray.com/Corvette today. Join the community.
And now, back to the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today, with your host, Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks once again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is the Track Operations General Manager for the National Corvette Museum's Motorsports Park, Mr. Zach Rackovan. In this third and final segment, we're going to talk more about the Motorsports Park because right now there's so much going on over there, Zach. Let's talk about the expansion. Give us an update on what's going on there.
Yeah, Steve, I'm super excited to talk about and share with the world what we're doing down here in Bowling Green at the Motorsports Park. We obviously, as everybody in the Corvette world knows, and just racing in general, we suffered a fairly significant setback in December of last year when a tornado came through and did significant damage to our property. Not only did it do damage to our property, but it did damage to our city, and we're very focused on our area and our community. Bowling Green in general is healing from that wound. We suffered a little more structural damage than some. Luckily, no employees were on site with no injuries or anything of that nature, but it definitely was an unexpected setback, to say the least, to our facilities. A lot of people don't know, but my house was right on property. It was just at the front of the Motorsports Park, and it was significantly damaged to the point where it had to be destroyed. So there was a lot going on emotionally when that happened, and this team, and they stepped up. They didn't falter. They didn't take the opportunity to lick their wounds. They took the opportunity to say, okay, we've got to come back. We don't have the option to rest. They're pushing and they're driving and they're going above and beyond to make this park an absolute gem in the motorsports industry. A year from now, when we got all this done and it's back behind us, that we can say that while the tornado was tragic, we wished it wouldn't have happened. We rallied from it and we've built the best product that we possibly could, and we're going to continue to build on that. The building is currently under construction. We've got most of our structures back. We had significant damage to our day garages. Those are all rebuilt and ready to go. We got a few things to finish up on the Kimberly AFS Pavilion, and then it'll be back open and running for our guests, which is fantastic. Our long-term garages are all back to standard, all back to fully operational. So we've got the long-term garage options again for our members and for our clients. The Holiday Building is the last project that we have to complete and slay, and we've been working diligently with our general contractors as quickly as possible. So we're hoping for spring, summer to be back in some phase of the building, and then hopefully by the end of next year. I think ultimately at the end, the vision and the plan that the board and Motorsports Park and Greg has for this facility is outstanding. And I am so excited to get to debut this next year and really show what Motorsports Park can do.
That's cool. Talk about the driving experiences at the Motorsports Park, Zach. Especially you've got a Z06 driving experience coming up as well.
Right. That's our stable horse. The Corvette is our go-to gal for providing a quality motorsports experience at the racetrack. We started with C7s. We've now moved into the Z51 C8s. And you can come down to the Motorsports Park. You can get an opportunity to do several different things in that car, whether it's touring laps, and you set the pace on that. So it's an opportunity for somebody who just wants to see a racetrack or get to know the car to go out and do it at the pace that they want to set. And obviously, it's not real easy to test drive one of these things because they're so hot right now. It's so hard to get into one. So this is an opportunity for guests to come down, see the car, see the facility, and take a tour in the car. It's 3 times by start finish, so a total of 4 laps. And it's an absolutely phenomenal way to become intimately acquainted with a fantastic automobile on one of the best racing surfaces in the country. We've expanded on that. Now we've got the Corvette Experience, where you can go and do the next click up. We do a classroom session, then we drive. We do a classroom session, then we drive. So you get an opportunity to learn and then apply. And we do that 3 classroom sessions, 3 opportunities to drive on track. You really get to step into what the capabilities of the car are, but leave knowing that she's got so much more to offer. The car is so complex and so advanced and so powerful in what it can do. It is a weapon on the racetrack. To leave wanting more is exactly what we're going for, to get that initial taste, that experience, to lay the foundation of what the vehicle can offer, to know that there's so much more you can do with it and it has so much more capability. And that's just going to be blown out of the water with the Z06. The Z06, we're going to offer a couple different packages. You got an opportunity to drive it just like a C8, 3 times by start finish. It's going to be an exhilarating experience. GM had a few of those cars out here. The noise is absolutely intoxicating.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't be excited about listening to traffic noise all day long, but when it's a symphony of design and engineering going around in a circle all day, you can't help but love to listen. And then we've got the next phase up of that, where you get an opportunity to not only drive the car, launch the car from 0 to 60 and feel that acceleration. And then we put you in a car, we let one of our professional drivers drive, and then we take you and we show you a little bit larger envelope of what that car is capable of with a hop. So there's a bunch of different products that we're offering around the Z06 and the C8, and we're continuing to develop new opportunities to get on track and do new experiences. But we also understand that we've got an opportunity to present our racetrack in a really great light. Maybe you don't have a Corvette, but you want to get into racetrack and you want to get into motorsports and track days. We've got a product for you with like our high performance drivers introduction, where we take a day-long class to just teach you the basics of high performance driving, the flags, the point buys, the etiquette. So that way, when you go to your first HPD, your first high performance driver's education class, you've got a really good foundation. Think of it as like track driving 101. And it's a really cool opportunity to get on a racetrack, low pressure environment. You set the pace, you get the opportunity to learn at your own speed, then step into that world of high performance driving as a hobby or as a profession, if you could take it that long. And it's just an absolutely cool way to get on a racetrack in an environment that's not only safe, but it's fun and it's enthusiastic as far as the growth of a driver. So we've got a lot of cool stuff going on. I'm really excited excited about 2023. We're going to continue to develop product. We're going to continue to listen to our customers and try to deliver on excellence and give them everything that they want.
That's really cool. And you got an opportunity where the track can be rented out for corporate events and parties. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's been a huge addition to our portfolio this year. We stepped into it from an opportunity just to get on a racetrack, and our sales representative, Chad White, has really molded that product into a team-building atmosphere, a corporate product that you can deliver really neat guest experiences, client experiences. I mean, at the end of the day, it's super cool. You're driving Corvettes on a racetrack, driving go-karts, doing autocross, but they've really pulled together a way to present that in a very professional environment through whether it's catering or team-building exercises or corporate usage of the classroom. And now it's become a fully functional, fleshed out product that we can offer to local businesses and anybody that's willing to travel to come here and have a really unique team building experience and a really unique opportunity to give back to their clients or their employees. It's just a neat environment, and it's just a fun way to mix it up. You know, we do a lot of racetrack stuff, a lot of high performance driving education, a lot of C8 experience, and this is a wild card that goes in there where, we're constantly trying to think up new ways that we can do things and new ways that we can offer stuff to folks. And it's a breath of fresh air to see the corporate stuff take off like it has. With the new building coming in 23 and 24, it's going to just continue to grow.
Very cool. You've also got a drivers club. How does someone become a member of the drivers club and sign up?
It's a really unique program. We're trying to innovate in that market to offer the opportunity to get on the racetrack for guys that just want to drive and gals that want to drive. So, 30 plus days a year that they can get on the racetrack. There's several different membership options. Chad, we'd love to discuss all of those with you. We have our Drivers Club Lounge is going to be opening here soon. We've got long-term garages. There's a lot going on in that space, but it's mainly just an opportunity to provide an excellent value to folks who want to track a lot.
You had alluded to something earlier, Zach, and I wanted to touch on this again. You talked about garage rentals. Get a little bit more in depth about those.
So the garage rental aspect, kind of like fishing, I guess is a good way to put it. So for folks that haven't dealt within a motorsports world, you can either throw your boat on a trailer, drive it down, launch it in the boat ramp, and have to go through that rigmarole, or you can have it sit in a marina. And this is your Motorsports Park marina. So you've got a private garage, it's locked up, it's secured, it's behind a gated fence where you can keep your cars, your tools, your tires, sofa to sit on, a TV to watch, a fridge full of beverages, so that way when you show up to the racetrack, you drive up in your daily driver, turn the key, open your garage door, and there's your race car sitting there ready to go on the racetrack. I think for a lot of our driving club members who travel a little bit further, it's one less thing that's going to encumber them from coming to the track, having to deal with the transportation of a car. It's absolutely the best way to travel in motorsports. Because if you only want to come for an hour, you only want to come for 5 hours or whatever it is, you don't feel that self-inflicted guilt to have to stay longer. Having that permanent garage here makes you feel like a part because you are a part of the property. You've got your stuff here and you can just show up and you can drive. We've got several different sizes, 350 square feet, 508 square feet. In some of the legacy garages, there's some unique floor plans. We rent those on a yearly basis.
Zach, as the new track operations general manager of Motorsports Park, what do you see as the future for the Motorsports Park itself?
That's a really fun and complicated question, Steve. So I am very lucky and very blessed to have a very creative, very passionate executive director that's guiding our ship. I have a firm belief that we have a fantastic racing surface, but we've also got an exceptional event venue, and there's nothing but growth ahead of us as far as the diversity of stuff that we can offer, the diversity of products and events. And I foresee us having the opportunity to do things that, while motorsports related, maybe aren't racetrack central, whether it's meetings or gatherings or concerts or car shows or autocrosses. There's just so many opportunities that we have because of the quality of the facility that we have built already and we continue to develop. It's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. I'm passionate about getting people into this sport. It's an opportunity to share a bond with friends and family and your kids and things that you may not have otherwise thought about. We've got a lot of people who drive fantastic automobiles, whether they're Corvettes or Porsches or BMWs or Toyotas, it doesn't matter, that have this pedigree to be on the track. And it's like a thoroughbred in a paddock every day that doesn't get to run. You bring them out to the track and you let them stretch those legs and they'll really show you what they can do. And you'll really then learn to appreciate the design and the engineering that went into the development of a car like the Corvette. And you can't experience that on the road, at least not safely. And in my old line of work, not legally. But to come out onto a racetrack and be able to appreciate the amount of tenacity and technology and excellence that's driven into that car by General Motors, the only way to do that's at the racetrack. If I had a punch list of goals, it's to continue to deliver that message and deliver for our guests and make it an absolutely no-brainer decision for our corporate clients that this is where they want to spend their time and their money. We will continue to do our best to convert gasoline into smiles.
Buddy, the sky's the limit for the NCM Motorsports Park, that's for sure. Zach, if someone wants to reach you or get to the Motorsports Park, give us social media for both you and the Motorsports Park.
We're available on Instagram at NCM MSP. And then on Facebook, we're at Motorsports Park. Feel free to give us a call. The website is motorsportspark.org. All of our information's there. All of our opportunities to get on track, my contact information as well as the team's. If anybody has direct questions for me, feel free to send me an email. All that information is listed on the website. I just look forward to connecting and contacting and doing whatever I can to help people find their way here and find their enjoyment while they're on property.
Zach, thanks so much for taking time to be on Corvette Today. This has been a true learning experience for me, and I hope for all the listeners and viewers as well.
Well, thank you very much. Like I said, it's a neat opportunity to be in this industry, and I can't wait to see you come down in April for the events that we have at the museum and see other folks as they come into the Motorsports Park and just show what all we have to offer.
Thanks for listening to Corvette Today, and please be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today podcast. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. American Hydrocarbon at americanhydrocarbon.com. True Wealth and Company at retirewithtrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at aerolarri.com. Mid-America Motorworks at mamotorworks.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at chevyusa.com.
You've been listening to Corvette Today with Steve Garrett. If you'd like to contact Steve with any thoughts on the podcast or ideas for guests on Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. Or connect with Steve on social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using @SteveGarrettDJ. Thanks again for listening to Corvette Today.